So in the second part of our video textbook of our first lesson, we are dealing with the fundamental counting principle and defining what it is. Now, mathematicians don't use the word fundamental lightly, but they do use it with some regularity. There are at least 4 fundamental concepts in math, 2 of which are already familiar. There is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So what the fundamental theorem of arithmetic says is that any prime factorization is unique up to reordering. So if 3 different people factorize 60 into its prime factors in 3 different instances, well, you could get more than one sequence. In the end, everybody who does it correctly is going to get 2 2s, a 3, and a 5. But that doesn't mean we can't have someone else say, well, that's 2 times 3 times 2 times 5, because they started with 6 times 10. You could have somebody else say, right, it was 2 times 5 times 2 times 3, that first step being 10 times 6, or even 2 times 30. So we do have a number of different arrangements of these different characters. So in fact, there are 12 different ways to arrange them. There's 2 2 3 5, 2 2 5 3, 2 3 2 5, 2 3 5 2, and so on and so forth. We can keep going and build all 12 if we want. But this is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. There is also a fundamental theorem of algebra. So this theorem says that if you have a polynomial of degree n, so that means when you write out all the terms, your highest exponent of x is n, and then you have different coefficients counting down all the way down until you have a constant times x to the 0 or 1, so just a constant term at the end. If you have a polynomial of degree n with real numbers for coefficients, then you are going to have n roots to this polynomial. They might not all be real numbers. You might have square roots of negative numbers in there, which are valid numbers, but not numbers that Alberta deals with in high school. But the degree of your polynomial is going to be the degree or the number of solutions you have. So those are the 2 fundamental principles that we've seen so far. We will eventually see a fundamental theorem of calculus, but for now, the fundamental counting principle states that when you are counting choices, the total number of choices you have is going to be the product of choices that are connected with the word and the sum of choices that are connected with the word or. So if you have to choose, or if you have certain options, so you're flipping a coin, it's either going to be heads or tails. We're in Canada, so our coins have crowns on the heads. And you're also, say, rolling a 6-sided die. Yeah, definitely not an artist. So you've got 4 dots here. The 3 dots would be on the far side. You might have a 2 here with 5 on the opposite. There's 2 possibilities for that coin toss and 6 possibilities for the die for 12 total possibilities. These will become more clear as we dig through some very common question types in our examples.